Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Okay, let us go to God in prayer since we're going to take at least 15 minutes. Let's pray. We're going to ask Brother Richard, can you lead our hearts to God in prayer, please?
Most gracious and eternal Father, as we humble approach your throne of grace, we pray for forgiveness of our many sins that we have committed. We seek here to learn something of your word, God. Pray you help us to retain and to apply it, Father. Not just on the books, but into our life, God. We say thank you, and Jesus.
Amen. Good morning, gentlemen. Okay. All right. Okay. We're glad to be back here this morning. Thanks to all who are watching on YouTube and those who are here at our full-time school, the Jamaica School of Preaching and Biblical Studies. We're going to be picking up from the book of Acts, our lesson from where we stopped the last time. But just before we go, we discuss some more about the author. As you can see, I've been trying to do some upgrading and everything on the slides, but unfortunately, it seems that if I have made it a bit too, the background a bit too bright, so it kind of difficult for us to see the writing little. But nevertheless, we're going to try since we are online right now. All right. Both the Gospel of Luke and the book of Acts are written in a form that is called volume. And the idea is, I think we had discussed this already, right? All right, so it is written in a form of volume. In other words, a book form of two. All right, so you have volume 1 and you have volume 2. Luke, the book of Luke, or the Gospel of Luke, and the book of Acts. That would be volume 1 and volume 2. They are also normally referred to as part 1 or part 2 of the work of Jesus. Both books are similar in content, style, and structure. All right? And because they are so similar, this is the reason why we know, this is just one of the reasons, or a fraction of the reason why we know that it is the same author who wrote both books. All right? The name, as we say, means lover of God. It's a Latin name shortened for Lucanus or Lucas. It's simply I think it's a Greek, from Syrian, the city of Syrian. All right, simply a Syrian, a Greek, possible, and this is just about what the city is like, or the place where he actually would come from, which is located somewhere in North Africa, like between Alexandria and Carthage. Among them was a certain Lucius, a prominent man in the church of Antioch, called to Acts chapter 13 and verse 1. All right, we're just moving kind of a bit fast because we have gone through this. All right, and I'm hoping that we are taking notes. All right, eventually you're going to get these notes. You're going to get it. But as I said before, I prefer that you take notes, which means it will imprint on your mind. All right, when you write, it cannot imprint on your mind. It is possible that he's a proselyte. A proselyte is someone who is of a different religion and want to become a part of this religion. right? So what he does now, he give up his right to what he was before to become a part of this. All right. Also, it is believed that he died at the age of 84. All right. And soon after Paul was martyred. He's a companion of Paul. Colossians chapter 4, verse 14. Luke, beloved physician, which also tells us that he is a doctor. Right? Tells us that he's a doctor. So not only that he's a Christian, a writer, but he's also a doctor. This is what Colossians chapter 4, verse number 14 tells us. And this, by the way, is saying to us that he is a companion of Paul. In other words, he's one of those fellow workers who work closely with Paul. And that is why he's able to say the things he is saying to us, because he is also an eyewitness of the things that was done by the apostles, all right, and what he has heard from the apostles, all right. Yes, stating that he is a physician. Jumping down, okay. The book of Luke give rise to the beginning. We make mention of that of Acts, in that it's a twofold meaning. Acts begins where Luke ends, according to Acts chapter 1 and verse number 2. All right. Acts, yes, and it is the same. It gives the same at the same time. It gives rise to the start of various events, like the book of Genesis, the beginning. The book of Acts also does what? The book of Acts also tells us the beginning of different events. For example, the resurrection of Jesus Christ, which was preached according to Acts chapter 2 from verse 14 going down. The disciples were told to go to the various parts of the world. The persecution that started in Acts amongst the brethren from Acts chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7, going down. The engraftment of the Gentiles, right? The engraftment of the Gentiles and so on. All this we talk about. All right. The book of Acts does not refer to all. No, this is where we're actually going to be picking up from now. The book of Acts, though the title that was given, first of all, we need to bear in mind that the title is not an inspired title. All right? Bear this in mind. The title, which is the book Acts of the Apostles, is not a spiritual or inspired title. What do I mean by that? I mean that there's no record of the title given in the book itself. What we see is just the recording of the history of eyewitness and so on. So we don't have a title. No title was given to the book, but it's uninspired men who give the title to the book. And then, even though they gave the book a title, the title does not really fit the book itself. Why? Because the title is suggesting that it is the Acts of the Apostles. But the truth is, when you look into the book of Acts, what we see is just about 4 persons, 4 apostles. The book of Acts really make mention of 4. All right? 4 persons. In the book of Acts only mention of 4 apostles other than Peter, other than the list that was given according to Acts chapter 1, verse 13. You remember in Acts chapter 1, a list was given where the names of the apostles were called. All right. So other than the list itself, only 4 apostles were mentioned in the book of Acts about the work that they did. Right? Luke. So in James and John, according to Acts chapter 12 and verse number 2. Turn to it for me, please, if you. Yeah. Acts chapter 12. Yes, when you find it. Verse number 2.
He said, then he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword.
What it says?
He killed James, the brother of John, with the sword.
With the sword. Yes. So 2 apostles were mentioned. All right, according to Acts chapter 12. All right. Also, Peter and Paul throughout the rest of the Bible, throughout the rest of the book of Acts. And remember, we stated that the book itself, from Acts chapter 1 to chapter 12, deals with Acts chapter 12, chapter 1 from to chapter 12 deals with Peter. And from 13 to the end deals with Paul. All right? So you know that the book really deals with 2 official apostles, Peter and Paul. Away from those 2 apostles, only James and John were mentioned as an apostle in the book. All right. So therefore, it is saying to us that the title doesn't really fit. So it would be a more of a better title for the book would actually be Act of the Apostle. Act of Apostles, not of the apostles. You understand? Because it's not all the apostles it talks about. Just 4. So we're saying Act of Apostles, which would be more appropriate. All right? But then now, as I say, you guys need to really do your own research, because this is just a tip of what we are actually exposing you to, so that you can your mind will be stirred up and you'll want to do your own research. Only Luke recalled the appearances of their disciples in Jerusalem, according to Acts chapter 1. The appearance of the disciples in Acts chapter 1. All right, Luke is the only gospel which refers to the trial of Jesus before Antipas. Luke chapter 23, verse 7 to 12. All right, we also touch on the claims that suggest that these writers, these historians, Ignatius, Irenaeus, and other historians support the claim that it is Paul, that it is Luke who actually wrote the book of Acts. So we won't be touching that. Where and when was the book of Acts written? We know what this is. We know that the book of Acts ends with Paul's last visit to Rome, right? Huh? Yes? Yeah. Okay, we know that based on Acts chapter 28 and verse 30 that he was under house arrest 2 years in Rome. He had the privilege to have his own visitors, and he was able to preach the gospel to anybody who come, even to the guards who were there. Paul arrived in Jerusalem on his final missionary journey, and was warned by James and the elders. Now, what did he was warned? What was he warned about? What was Paul warned about? Acts chapter 21 and verse 17 to 26. Acts 21 verse 17 to 26. What was it that Paul was warned about?
17. He said, and when we had come to Jerusalem, the brethren received us gladly. On the following day, Paul went in with us to James, and all the elders were present. When he had greeted them, he told in detail those things which God had done among the Gentiles during his ministry.
Yes.
And when they heard that, they glorified the Lord, and they said to him, you see, brother, how many myriads of Jews there who have believed, and they are all zealous for the law. But they have been informed about you that you teach all the Jews who are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses, saying that they ought not the circumcised their children not to work according to the custom.
All right. So what is it that James and the elders were warning Paul about? About the teaching of the law of Moses and the customs. They were warning Paul because this is what the accusers were saying that Paul was going around doing. Paul was going around doing what? He was going around teaching the Jews to do what? We're among the Gentiles to forsake Moses, saying that they ought not to circumcise their children. Right? That they ought not to. That's one of the things that one of what they were teaching them, that they were accusing Paul of. Not to circumcise their children, not to keep the law of Moses. So James and the elders were saying to him, no, Paul, this is what the accusers are accusing you of. So what we are suggesting to you, Paul, is that you should keep your custom by going to the. It's there in the scriptures. It's there in the scriptures. There was a Sabbath thing coming up, right? Verse 20 from verse 22 says what? What is it? Therefore, the multitude must need to come together for they what? For they will hear that you are here. Do therefore this that we say to you. Notice now. This is what the elders and James were saying to him. There's a suggestion that seems to be okay. Why? Because it will not give them any reason to say that that are in the truth to what they are saying, that they are accusing you of, that you are telling people, telling the Gentiles to forsake Moses and not to circumcise their children. Keep what? It says, therefore, this that we say to you, we have what? 4 men who have a vow on themselves. Take, then take the purification, take and purify yourself with them and pay their what? Expense, that they may what? Shave their heads, and all may know that that those things of which they were informed concerning you are nothing, but that you yourself also walk orderly and keep the law. So they were warning and saying to them, listen, this is what you need to do. It will be best for you to do this. All right? Okay. All right. So we have expired our time, but we'll pick up for our next class from here. All right? Okay. Thank you very much.
But David, can you send us the